So this is another topic that I really want to talk about as well because it's so similar to procrastination in the sense that it's one of those things that you see every day and you see constant examples of it every single day in your life. But overall, keeping your life private makes it so that your life is easier. And it makes it so that it's more smooth sailing than it would be if you were to have your information out there, because everybody now has a problem with keeping their mouth shut or just keeping their life private, because everybody needs to brag about something, or they just need to show off, or they just need to have their whole life out there, whether it's on TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, Twitter, whatever social media platform it is. They just need to have their life out there. But this is the thing: if you have actual goals and ambitions that you're trying to do, or you're trying to improve on yourself, just anything with self-improvement, it's best to just keep your mouth shut and just keep it pushing. Just keep your head down and just keep working. And the main reason I say this is because if you go and tell this to somebody, chances are they're not going to see eye to eye with you, and they're not going to be able to comprehend what you're trying to do and how you're trying to improve in any way, shape, or form. And this could also go south where they take this information and make it a rumor. And by when I say this, when I say making a rumor, I mean this. I mean that they might go and start telling a whole bunch of people. And you know how Gen Z is, and you know how teenagers are, right? How us teenagers are. Information spreads like wildfire, whether it's in person, from person to person, or on social media, which is still person to person, but just even faster. So with this happening, this rumor that could potentially be made, it makes it so that there's a lot of drama, and it makes it harder to operate. Uh, and this is because these rumors could come back and bite you, especially if they turn out real bad. And depending on what you say and what your goals are, right? This could affect with your mental, because this drama could affect with your mental and how you think about it. Because then you're gonna start doubting yourself. You'll be like, oh, should I do this, or oh, should I do that? But if you're just starting out with self improvement and you're trying to be good with yourself, like you're trying to love yourself, and you go and tell people these things, they're going to pounce on you immediately. They're going to come after you immediately, trying to bring you down to their level. That's what I mean when I say it's a lot easier to operate when you just don't say anything, because then you can focus on yourself. And by the time that people find out, if they ever find out, you'll be able to be self secure. You won't be insecure about anything, and you'll just be able to do what you got to do, and you'll be you. But that's what I mean also when I say it's easier to operate, because you can just do whatever you got to do. You'll stay in your own lane. You'll stay locked in, and there's nothing coming in to distract you or anything that's gonna like become dramatic. Nothing's gonna blow up in your face. You won't have like a magnifying glass on you everywhere you go because of the information that people know. And then another thing is this: is that not everybody is your friend. There are some people out there who might see you specifically have something that they want, or you specifically who is successful, and they're going to try to take it just because it's you who has it. There are many examples of this that I can think of, but the main one that I can think of is the most recent one I saw, where it was these two guys, right? Both of them had girlfriends, except let's just say guy A and guy B. Hopefully I remember that. But guy A, it's him and his girl, and then guy B, him and his girl. Except guy B, right? Him and his girl broke up, and then he became jealous of guy A because they were still in a relationship and they were going strong. They've been going strong for a couple months now. So now he wanted to ruin that. So he started DMing her, right? Because guy A posted her on his IG story. So he clicked the profile and started DMing her. And then guy A found out that she was cheating with on him with guy B. And the main reason he did this was because he was jealous of the fact that guy A had a relationship that he wanted. And I'll also say this: if your girl is able to be taken away from you by some other dude or vice versa, that was never your girl or man. So that's just to put that out there, but that's besides the point. So that's one of those things. He saw that it was his friend specifically who had a girl, right? And he was jealous of that because he didn't have that. So he wanted to take what guy A had because it was him specifically who had it. But there are many examples that you guys could probably find on the internet. It's just so common nowadays. Like it's one of the easier things to just look up. But another thing to add to that is that you don't know who is out to get you, because say you're trying to do what you want to do, right? And you're trying to improve on yourself. And say there's a little bump in the road, maybe something happens, right? A little small situation, right? If your life is public and everybody knows about this, and you go and tell one person and that person doesn't want the best for you and that person doesn't like you or whatever, and they go tell somebody else, right? Or maybe that person you did tell was somebody trustworthy, but then they end up telling somebody and then it starts spreading and it spreads to somebody who doesn't like you, then that little bump in the road might become a little pothole that you trip upon. And then with that happening, that little rumor, and that because of that one person, once that rumor starts spreading because of that one person, and it comes back to you, and, and people start clowning you, trashing you, all of this, calling you stuff, then that little pothole that you tripped upon might become a big sinkhole in which you fall into, and then it becomes hard to climb out of. And climbing out of that, it's just going to be a hard mental struggle that you have to try to overcome, because you were trying to self improve and a little thing happened along the way. A little bump became a big sinkhole because you could not keep your mouth shut. Rather than just dealing with it yourself, you went and told somebody. Now, I'm not saying that everything needs to be kept private, because there are therapists for a reason and stuff like that. In the case that you have a mental struggle or there's something wrong with you mentally, or you just need help or you need somebody to talk to, that's perfectly fine. However, if your entire life is out there, then that's when it becomes a problem. Because if your life is out to the public or out to those who you are not super, super close with, right, then there's just no need. And you're just asking for somebody to come prey on your downfall. However, this is also something that helped me, like with keeping my life private. And this is something I started practicing after not even after my freshman year, during my freshman years when I started doing a lot of it, because there was just too much noise, especially in high school. There's so many distractions, and it's very, very easy to get distracted. So for me, I just kept my mouth shut, and especially sophomore year too, and this summer, going into junior year, I just kept my head down. I just kept working and doing what I needed to do to improve on myself. And alhamdulillah, I'm way better now than I was in June. So, and I'm way better now compared to where I was 2 weeks ago. It's just about constant improvement and constant progression. That's what I'm trying to do. But there are things that I'm doing that I have not told a single soul, and I don't plan on doing so. I haven't told any friends or family, because you don't know who you can trust. And I'm not saying don't trust your friends or family, but you don't know if they're going to say something to somebody else. You don't know who they're going to tell. You don't know who's going to say what. And you don't know who's going to bring it up again if you do say something.